there, Florida high school trumpet players. Today we're going to talk about efficient ways to practice the Florida All-State Jazz Trumpet Etudes and explore some powerful practice techniques. But before we jump in, let's talk about a fascinating concept called myelin and how it relates to efficient learning. Myelin, think of it as the brain's secret sauce. It's a fatty substance that wraps around nerve fibers, and it plays a pivotal role in learning and skill development. When you practice, you're essentially building up layers of myelin. These layers help electrical impulses travel faster through your neurons. The more myelin you have around a particular skill, the better you become at it. It's like strengthening the wiring in your brain. Now, let's get into the core of our practice technique, playing slowly and accurately. This is where the magic happens. Start by setting your metronome to half tempo. The key here is precision, and by that I mean the correct style, which encompasses all the musical aspects. Let's assume you play the correct pitches. I'm talking about dynamics, articulations, and emotion that you bring to the music. Because after all, music is more than just the notes on a page. Do you want to hear this? Or this. And frankly, the person listening to the audition material will give you more points if you play something in style at a slightly slower tempo than if you play something at a tempo and it sounds like a hot mess. That gives absolutely no clue as to whether you can play in time, with style, or anything musical, which is what is most important. Your ability to convey a musical idea that someone has put on paper. To build myelin effectively, we'll use two powerful techniques, chaining and backchaining. Chaining involves dividing your etude into smaller sections, such as phrases or even just a few notes if necessary. Focus on one section at a time. Play it accurately and in time with the metronome for 10 repetitions. If you don't play it 10 times in a row accurately, start over from the last mistake. Once you nail it, move on to the next section and repeat the process. These are practicing examples of half tempo and how you should break down the music. A few things to clarify. First off, when you're performing for an audition or you're preparing to perform for an audition, the judges want to hear all the articulations, they want to hear emotion in the music, they want to hear dynamics, and a good way to practice that is by breaking something down very slowly and make sure that you're doing all those accents. So there's stuff that's not written in the music. In some of these I have slur markings. So you're going to tongue every other note as sort of a general rule, and on upbeats is where you want to put more emphasis. So when you practice these slow, over exaggerate the accents or upbeats more than you normally would when you play, so that your body gets used to doing those at a slow tempo. When you get like 10 repetitions of doing it correctly slow, you'll automatically be able to do it faster because of the whole process of myelin. But this is just an example. I'm going to over exaggerate the dynamic on playing the first little phrase at the beginning. You get the idea by exaggerating those. Another thing to keep in mind is when you're playing these, make sure that you're playing these relaxed. If you try to practice something and you're practicing it and it's tense, the myelin will wrap itself around those circuits to play this music tense. So you don't want to do that. So you want to be as relaxed as possible. Breathe in and breathe out. After you practice this several times slow, then bring up the tempo. I would break each section down in chunks and work on those accents at a slow tempo. And then When you start to practice it at a faster tempo, it'll get a little smoother and you can still put the accents in there, but you don't have to try to over accentuate them as much as you do when you practice it at first. I hope this makes sense and helps. As you progress, start chaining these sections together, building myelin for the entire piece. It is important not to get frustrated with the process because this only hinders your learning. Back chaining is a unique twist. Begin with the last section of your etude and work your way backwards. This technique ensures that you master the grand finale and it builds confidence in your performance. To make the most of your practice time, divide it into 10-minute highly focused segments. During these sessions, eliminate all distractions. No devices, no notifications. It's just you, your trumpet, and the metronome. This focused practice helps create efficient myelin pathways in your brain. After your intense practice segment, it's time for a short 5 to 7 minute break. Don't just relax, make this break count. During your break, keep your mind engaged with the music. Sing the exercise you are playing in your head. Visualize yourself playing it perfectly while doing something else. This mental rehearsal reinforces your myelin pathways even when you're not physically playing. So there you have it. Florida high school trumpet players, myelin, slow and accurate practice with a metronome, chaining, back chaining, focused 10-minute segments, and smart breaks. These are your keys to mastering your jazz trumpet etudes. Remember, greatness isn't achieved overnight. It's the result of consistent, deliberate practice. However, efficient practice can get you there faster, and if you embrace these techniques, your skills will soar. Happy practicing and good luck on your Florida All-State Jazz Band auditions.